What's up, guys? So in this video, I'm going to be reviewing my bodybuilding transformation that I made 10 years ago. Now, I've been on like forever bulking diet for 10 years. You know, 10 years ago, I was a lot less wise than I am today. I must admit, you know, I've learned through life. I've been working on myself a lot. I've had a lot of time to work on myself. If I stayed, I am smarter now than probably more than 50% of people who are dying right now at the age of 70. And there's still things that, very important things that I don't know and understand. But I could tell you with confidence that man, 10 years ago, I was basically retarded compared to where I'm at today. So even though I'm fat now, I looked much better 10 years ago. I had a bloodthirst to be really good in life, and I became really good in life, but I had to leave the gym behind, right? Because the gym was interfering with my business. And if there's one thing that's the most important and critical thing to focus on in your fucking 20s, is money. You know, college, something, so you can live the rest of your life without having to worry so much about money. But this was me when I was putting a lot of energy into my fitness, and this is my, I would say this is not a 2-year transformation. There are some pictures in this transformation that are from like 3 years. Like it could even be up to like 3 years, or maybe even like 4 years, actually. But overall is a 2-year transformation.
This is how I gained 80 pounds in a year and a half. Now I'm going to do a separate
Oh man, I was so much more handsome back then.
transformation video.
I'm not gay or nothing. I'm not gay or nothing, but I was so much more handsome back then.
Probably a few bulks,
But my beard looks better now. You know.
maybe after my next bulk and cut, and maybe a year from now. But this is a little montage.
So yeah, I wasn't expecting to become homeless. Shortly after, about probably like 3 or 4 months after I made this video, obviously I compiled all the pictures of my fitness journey into this video, all the important ones, all the best ones. But about 3 or 4 months after I made this video, I became homeless. So yeah, pretty crazy shit, but I don't want that to happen ever again. That was a pretty terrible experience. And I had to stop going to the gym. I had no way to work out. I had no access to a gym for like a long time after that. I could do cardio and push-ups, but I can't really do push-ups. Like some motherfuckers can just drop down and knock out like 500 push-ups a day. I can't really do push-ups. I don't know what it is. I just can't. I've never been good at push-ups. Even when I played sports, push-ups is not my thing. That's why if I go to prison, you know, I'd probably like finagle a way to train, but hopefully I'll never go to prison, right? But only if by some accident that I wind up in prison, they're not even feeding you enough protein anyways. So I guess working out doesn't even really matter in prison. So
A timeline of how far I've come in lifting. The first picture you're gonna see is of me, like probably 3 or 4 years ago. This is right after. This is right. Actually, fuck, dude. This is like a year before I even graduated high school. This is when I was dating. This is even before I was dating one of my first girlfriend after I dropped out of high school. I didn't drop out of high school. I transferred to online school, but I say I dropped out because online school is fucking easy.
And the person that I was referring to in that video is Sarah. Sarah, if you're watching this video, no hard feelings.
Easy, and I don't fucking know. I feel like I might as well.
But she cheated on me a lot, from what I understand. And, fuck all that. I ain't the type of guy that's going to stick around and live with shit like that in my life. I'm going to chew you up and shit you out like I did.
I fucking dropped out, but I got a diploma anyways, so it's like fucking, woo, free shit, But this is the montage.
I still fucking love this song. I feel like I still fucking love this song. It's not a romantic song. This is a song about my romance with my goals. I still believe I will find love someday. I haven't lost all hope. It's just getting shitted on in like 3 or 4 different relationships. Losing contact with my daughter because my ex-girlfriend is so much of a piece of shit. That I bet you she is keeping me from my daughter so that my daughter doesn't find out what a piece of shit she was to me and trying to keep me as the fucking bad guy. So that's what this tattoo looked like back then. I almost wish that I kept it the same. I think it looked better back then. And the tattoo artist basically fucked me over. I think he knew very well what I was trying to do with that tattoo. I was trying to get like a straight line down my arm, going down like toward my elbow. You know, and that's my expression on my face. I think this is when I was just sort of starting out in the gym. You know, I was working, I think, a job at, or maybe had just gotten fired from a job at a restaurant, or maybe this is when I was working at a restaurant. But despite the fact that I was always like looked down on and shitted on by the managers, I never like lost confidence in myself. And despite the fact that I've been shitted on at like every juncture in some way, but one day when I'm like 42, I will officially be unfuckwithable. That is my goal, is to be unfuckwithable. So you guys can see the humble beginnings, but the beginnings and the reasonable beginnings of some chest gains. And as you guys can see, skinny, but have that little pooch of fat on my stomach. You know, I fear if I'll never fully be able to get rid of that little pooch of fat on my stomach. You know, and this picture is you know, skinny. You can see some chest coming in. You see the arms are growing. You know, you see a clear like cut. See some cuts. See some muscle separation between the deltoids and the pectoral muscles. I don't know if that's normal. I think I've been training chest wrong for all these years until I finally learned that you train chest by like using the deltoid. You have to use the deltoid to build the chest. I always thought it was just like a pressing movement. Like you just press and then the chest grows all by itself. But this muscle right here that almost like connects with the deltoid, you have to like press and use this muscle to contract the chest. That's why like I've made great chest gains, right? But to get that overhang that I've been looking for, that overhang in the chest and to build a real thick, full chest. If you guys see my chest at every juncture in this video, I've lacked middle chest. You guys, or upper middle chest. You guys see, and I trained my upper chest, but I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So this picture is when I was building my second business, which was a supplement company. I left behind my business as a personal trainer, which I was pretty much under qualified to be a personal trainer. I knew what to do, as you guys can see. You know, semi-lean, building some good muscles, looking good. You know, could be a personal trainer, right? Can show people what to do. See this picture right here? Ripped. I mean, looking good. I mean, shoulders coming in. I remember these shorts. I miss these fucking shorts. Chest coming in. You see, like, the thickness of my arm now compared to the thickness of my arm then. I'm excited to see what I'm going to look like when I cut down and get shredded this time. So, yeah, like I said, even though I was working out, that protein shake after my workout every day was just nothing more than just extra calories added into my diet. And my body is like more sensitive than the average body when it comes to calories. You know, the average person needs like, because I went like a good like 4 years eating like 1,000 calories a day. You know, so really, what is like 4,000 calories for like a big, huge bodybuilder that's on steroids is like, I might only need like 3,500, right? I'm very sensitive to any extra calories. And, you know, that leg, that is a great picture of my leg right there. And I've always had big calves. The secret to big calves is you got to walk a lot. You know, you got to walk a lot. Walk on the treadmill for an hour a day. You'll grow your calves. You don't necessarily grow your calves by actually training your calves with weights. You got to walk a lot. You know, but that is a pretty beefy picture of my leg right there. And never been too big into training abs. So in this photo, if I had been training my abs, you know, you would see like visible, like looking real good, you know. But unfortunately, you know, no abdominal muscles underneath the small pooch of body fat on my stomach. But you can see the pecs are coming in, the shoulders are coming in, the arms are coming in. You know, I'm going to take this diet real slow. You know, it should take about 10 years. But by the time I'm like 45, you know, I'll be ripped to shreds. I want to get it done in like a year, right? But I want to preserve my muscle and continue to grow muscle while I lose fat. So my goal right now is not to get stupid shredded in like 12 weeks, which I could do, by the way. All you got to do is starve yourself, you know, not eat for like a week at a time and then binge eat for a day. Don't eat for a week and binge eat just to refuel your body with like food that otherwise you just die.
My prediction, I'ma be on top.
I know there's better ways to do it. So, so, all these pictures are seeming to run together.
On top of the world. Don't look back. Always do what you decide. Don't control your life.
Yeah, often get hurt by the people closest to you. Um, yeah, so I don't hold anyone too close anymore. You know, I always keep my distance. Yeah, I think that's a general rule about life is to keep your distance. I don't ever let anyone in. I don't just give someone my trust. You know, trust is earned. It's from me. It's not just given. Um, I love you like you're my fucking son or daughter, but I don't trust you for shit. There's a mouse. Get out of here.
You're strong like gold. Don't let them compare you, no. Don't worry about it alone. Am I wrong? Together we could do something for real. No, am I wrong? I'm trying to reach the place that I can't see. That's just how I feel. That's just how I feel.
And this right here is a picture I took when I first just really started working out. I think this was my pre-workout C4 blue raspberry icy blue raz, I think it's called. I think they do still sell it. I might buy some, you know, when I get some money.
That's just how I feel. Trying to reach the place that I can't see. If you tell me I'm wrong, I don't wanna be right. If you tell me I'm wrong.
Again, another picture lean, but that little pooch of fat on my stomach, I cannot deal with that. Like, all my life I think I'm going to have that little pooch of fat because I refuse to take steroids. Like I said, if you look at someone like David Goggins runs, sometimes runs like 10 miles every morning for breakfast. Is not completely ripped to shreds where you see veins in his abs. I don't know what's wrong with me. There's something wrong. It's something I ate or something, or I'm holding water weight or something. I don't know. I got to figure this out. How do I get rid of this water weight? It must be water weight. Or is that like my little savings account of fat on my body, So, started training my abs just a little bit more. You see the chest coming in more. So yeah, this picture I think is proof that you don't need steroids and shit like that to look good. But very quickly, because I was trying to lose this little pooch of fat on the bottom of my stomach, this is what it turned into. Look, see guys? Looking good. Big chest is there. Arms are there. Abs are there. And I promise the legs are there. And this is what I ate. Every day. 2 meals a day. Okay. Doesn't make too much sense to me now. But I ate 2 meals a day. Turkey, a pound of turkey twice a day with jalapenos and hot sauce. And this is what that turned into, because I had lost like half of all my muscle gains. Yeah, bro, weight loss specialist. Ha ha ha. So funny, I mean. So soon after these photos were taken, I got kicked out of the house to live in my car because I dropped out of college. And yes, this is when I started my first and only experiment with anabolic steroids. As you guys can see, ripped to shreds, skinny, right? But the protrusion under the nipple, I've told you guys 1,000 times, I am not that fucking fat to have tits this big. It is the gyno from the steroids that cause the tits. Look. Look, guys. Man boobs do not stick out like that. And of course, with the injection of anabolic steroids, I start growing muscles on muscles on muscles. And start growing facial hair, hair all over my body, start growing hair on my chest, and losing hair on my head a little bit. So yeah. This is not my Rolls Royce. This was a Rolls Royce that I took a picture with at the car dealer. So I know it might look like to some people that I bought a Rolls Royce, but that's not true. You guys can see the little sticker in the window. You know, it's just that was my goal, was to buy a Rolls Royce. They opened up an exotic car dealer like up the road from me. And took a picture with a Rolls Royce and had my suit and tie on. And this is me on the phone with the girl who cheated on me while we were conceiving for a baby. with a pack of Oreos because this is the beginning of my journey to becoming a fucking fat ass. I thought more calories means weight gain. You know, yes, calories means weight gain, but it's not always muscle. You still have to eat the correct foods. You know, I'm 30 years old now. Now I know, like, you know, this is what I eat now to lose weight and to maintain muscle and to even build a little bit of muscle. It seems like I go up and down, back and forth. You know, I gain 10 pounds, I lose 10 pounds. I gain 10 pounds, I lose 10 pounds. I gain 10 pounds, I lose 10 pounds. I'm finally ready to just get ripped. You know, that would be really nice. So I thought like calories means weight gain. And I was so horny all the time from taking, you know, the steroids that I could not live without a fucking girl, right? And I went from looking pretty beefy, and this is not my ex, by the way. This is my ex's nasty, dirty little feet. And what is coming up next in the video is pictures that I can't show. So like the video, subscribe to my Facebook page, subscribe to my YouTube channel. God lifts, baby. My review on my transformation 10 years ago. I am about to make a transformation video on my transformation that I've made in the past 10 years, but it's just going to be a dialogue or a monologue. It's not going to be a with pictures. So subscribe for that video. Bam! I got fat, lost muscle, and still got gyno. So, gotta get rid of the gyno soon. So, yeah. Subscribe and like the video.